Welcome back to MTG Spec. My name's Tom. This is the fourth video in a collection purchase series. The very first box we went through had this lovely Amonkhet Invocation of No Mercy, about a $90 value. The entire collection was bought for about $188.88. Not about, exactly that. And then this is the kind of the cream of the crop from the second box that we went through. That took two videos because I cashed out on the memory on my my potato phone. But yeah, I mean, I got a lot of shock lands here. Nicol Bolas, pretty cool. I'll put him with his invocation. I don't know. I probably sell these, but I don't have much appetite to sell these shock lands. You know, they fit well in commander decks, and you know, in the future I may need them. May need some play sets. So. This is actually, even though this is one of the more valuable sectors of what I've gotten so far, it's one of the ones I have kind of the least interest in getting rid of, because I actually do like shock lands, fetch lands. Never really used to care about real estate in Magic, but real estate in Magic is unfortunately a lot like real estate in the real world. It's pretty goddamn valuable. So now we get to answer the next question, which is, why is this box smiling at me? Look at this crazy box. Didn't that look like a little smile emoji or something? Anyway, this is an intriguing one. I've peeked in here to verify it was indeed Magic, but we are going in. This one, yeah, I remember seeing this, the little top loaders, which for a while during 2020 were extraordinarily hard to find. A lot of them were like, I think, like trapped on a voyage. Oh, we got somebody's hair. Got a nice little hole in a little crack there. But yeah, they were trapped in some port or something like that. There's a lot of problems during 2020. You know, the COVID led to the plastic shortage, paper shortage. I'm actually kind of glad to see these. We got some land packs from War of the Spark and Ravnica. I think this is Return to Ravnica. Definitely need lands for all the products I'll be building out of the bulk for these. Got a die. That's the first die we've gotten so far. Another War of the Spark item. Alright. That is coming out. Alright, let's get into it. Let's see what goodies we have here. So who's going to be the MVP in this? So far it's the die. Alright. Hope everybody's having a good Sunday. I'm trying to squeeze in a second video this morning before work. And I also squeezed in my hour at the gym, keeping up with that for my Sugar Wars updates. But it's kind of nice. You know, Magic's a very sedentary activity for the most part, so it's interesting that, you know, spending time at the gym, getting the blood flowing, actually gives you more energy for sitting and sorting cards. Who knew? So far, it looks like a lot of War of the Spark, just commons. Is it centered? Is it showing up? Okay. Oh, that's kind of cool. Like that. Sometimes I just get stopped by the art. It's pretty cool art. A few foils. I don't know what this box represents. There's lands. There's a bunch of kind of bulk stuff. I wonder if this was... It looks like it was just kind of like haphazardly thrown in, but I wonder if this was like the makings for like a War of the Spark cube or something like that. I don't know. And I'm stunned by all the condition has been super nice. Like, they were such a nice couple that donated this stuff, and they were so like young and vibrant. Like, why? I don't know. I kind of wish they kept a Magic, or I don't know why they quit. But I wish there were more Magic players like these guys that took good care of their stuff. My brother, I remember when they first started selling card sleeves, my brother laughed at me for putting them on my cards. He's like, what are you doing card condoms for? He thought it was just really dumb, and then, you know, eventually started to dawn on him how much his dual lands, you know, revised edition dual lands were worth. And Man, years ago, there was this place called Super Games in Atlanta, in the Atlanta area, I should say. We used to sell a bunch of bulk there because there just wasn't a lot of other resources at the time. I wasn't doing like online buy lists or, you know, bulks buy lists. And my brother had like all these revised cards, and he had a card I would have straight up thrown away. It was a Badlands that was like, it looked like it had been put through the wash. It was just like in horrible shape. Like there's parts peeled off, and they still offered him like, I don't know, like $50 for it. I was shocked. That was like one of the first eye-opening moments where I realized that like this hobby I'd been involved in for a long time. Sure, I'd sold cards before, but the idea of extracting the maximum amount of value, even for cards that I would, you know, that I in my foolish ways would have just like chunked because I was like, those are bad condition. Nobody would want that. But you know, it also was kind of an eye-opener as to the nature of the revised edition, and not revised, but like the reserve list stuff, that it was irreplaceable, and that, you know, people were willing to deal with garbage copies and it still had value. So that was interesting. But he sold all of his reserve list lands and used that money to straight up just buy. I think this Opt is probably the most valuable card I've seen so far. I guess I'll put it in the hot hits area. I don't know, but yeah, he sold his revised reserve list dual lands and just bought full sets of you know, whatever the buddy lands or whatever they were. So he had tons of, you know, multicolored lands because he's always been straight up a player. John's friend David Berkman introduced me and him to the game in like 1993, so we were there really in the ground floor. Dave Berkman lived out in San Francisco, so he was even closer to the epicenter of the original WotC. And yeah, it was wild. Our intro decks that were gifted to us were just all made out of like beta cards. And some of them had been handwritten on there to change things because we didn't have any black or blue. So like we had like a red elemental blast that said destroy target white card instead of a blue card or something like that. It was funny. Like we had no concept of what we were dealing with at the time because it was a brand new thing. But John's always been a player. I remember one time I was arguing with him. It's like you know, you love some of the art on these cards. You know, like Ovinomancer and stuff like that. Like why don't you just have like one notebook of cards you enjoy? He goes, they're just game pieces to me. He literally did not care. And you know, I think he aesthetically enjoys the cards, but to him, it's always just been a game, never really a collectible. I've never once seen him refer to a card as a collectible. It's just, you know, just a whole different mentality, which is fine. You know, everybody's got to choose their own path. So this is a completely devoid of rares box. It's so fancy though. Isn't that funny? Like all these valuable rares were like thrown haphazardly into a like a craft box where they didn't even really fit that nice. And then this box is just a bunch of nothing. I mean, it's nice condition stuff that I'm going to repurpose, but you know, obviously we want maximum value that we can. So this could be our first goose egg, but I'm not worried. Let's be conservative. 1,000% sure I've recouped my money from the first couple boxes. Like that is a lot of shock lands to not add up. A lot of shock lands and a lot of Amonkhet invocations, even though it's one. That's still a lot more than I was expecting. But yeah, between the Amonkhet invocation, the 10 shocks, the Nicol Bolas, and all the other, you know, like we had a Liliana Dreadhorde General that I just kind of glazed past. But you know, between everything I've seen so far, I'm certain I've already recouped and a little bit more. Actually, you know what? Opt. I'm gonna call this uncommon War of the Spark Planeswalker with no positive loyalty abilities. The super hit. Oh, Vivian's Grizzly. No, I take it back. Vivian's Grizzly is a super hit because it's a bear. It's going to my commander deck. Oh my god. This is amazing. Oh, here we go. More little or little plainsy walkers. So this is intriguing to me because like this feels very deliberately like all the rares were stripped out of here. But I wonder why. Oh, I take it back. We have hit a lovely rare story, Spotlight Act 2. Seb McKinnon, beautiful art, deliver unto evil. All right, so all you fakers, get out of here. Put that there. All right, that is our masterpiece of the box. So it is possible to get rares in this box. All right. God, 10 minutes. Holy moly. I'm trying not to scroll too fast because I am filming this on a camera that is a potato that runs on rice. And I don't want to completely, just create a blur on screen that's unenjoyable to look at. I'm trying to include you guys in the hunt. Got a lot of nice mid-tier. I wonder if I've hit like a full set of between this and the other boxes, like a full set of the War of the Spark Planeswalkers at the uncommon level anyway. Isn't it funny that like as much actually Kazmina, I think she does a little something. That's actually a cool card. I don't know if I have that one even. It's funny how just when I see the frame of Planeswalker, it still has a little bit of that. Actually, Narset's not bad. A little bit of that. I think she's worth more than the Deliver Unto Evil, but it still has a little bit of that feel, like just like if you're just in a pack and you just peel off enough where you start to see a Planeswalker curve. You know what I mean? Like it still gets the blood pumping, even though War of the Spark has essentially devalued the brand of that card type. By introducing tons of kind of bulk uncommons, which was a gamble, but War of the Spark, because they only did that as kind of a one-off thing, it still feels special. And if they tried to have 60 fully balanced plus and minus ability Planeswalkers in one set, it would have broke standard. Maybe it already did break standard, but does anyone even care about standard? I play Commander and I draft when I can. That's about another Narset. That's about all I can do, really. Standard. I don't know. Why even bother building a standard deck? I have modern decks, but I don't know. I guess if you're competing, it's fine. But lots of Kazminas. Oh, roll reversal. Got our second rare of the box. This is wild. Yeah, I think the nice wooden box is probably the most valuable thing in the box. So another Deliver Unto Evil. Okay, well, we're just stacking up a couple rares here, but wowzers, it's been kind of intriguing how few we're getting. Lots of Planeswalkers, though. And this is almost all exclusively War of the Spark. Like, I don't remember seeing any hits that weren't War of the Spark. So, we got a few. Double Deliver. I'm just going to say that's probably the hit of the box. All right, well, that's it. Blammo.